Hello and welcome to another exciting lesson of the Microsoft Excel application. So before I get into that, I've received a lot of complaints with regards to our Google Classroom, where episode 7 of the numbers group is not really processing by the Google service. So what I've done is to link it to my YouTube channel. So if you missed episode 7, you can get it from session 1 of our tutorial videos. So let's get back to the business for the day. So basically we will be looking at the insert tab, and under that we will be going through these various groups. They're very simple and easy to use, as well as contextual tab. So I'll get into that in some few minutes. So we have the insert tab / contextual tabs. Okay, so let's look at the tables group, which is the first item on our list. So within the tables group, we have these 3 buttons or functions. We have the pivot table, we have the recommended pivot tables, then we have table itself. And I will not be talking about a pivot table because that is under the Excel Expert Certification. So we are moving gradually from the core to the expert level, but I'll be focusing our attention on the table tool, which is found within the tables group. So pivot table basically looks at you working on a very extensive data set. So you can have a data name K1 to about maybe 20 or 30 or 50 columns, but you need all of that within a particular framework for analysis, where you try to compare more or less like the rubric. So you turn one side to compare with other sides, then you just try to find summaries of it. So basically that's what a pivot table is. But let's look at the table group. Sorry, the tables function under this particular group. Then later under the Excel Expert, I will throw more light on the pivot table with practical example. So from our previous knowledge, Control Shift right, Control Shift down, then Control C to copy. So I want us to use a different worksheet. So using what we've learned previously, I click. I'll need to rename it as Insert Tab. So let me go back to copy. Okay, it's already copied. And I'll come here, go to Home tab and use my Paste Special. Then I just want to paste values without a formatting. So it's been pasted like this for me without any formatting. So if you want to convert this into a table, it's very simple. Control Shift right, Control Shift down. And what is the rationale behind us converting it into a table? To basically have our filter handle so that we can filter and do some simple summaries. So basically that's what tables are used for. So once I select the range and click, the system will ask, does your table have headers? So the headers are the column headings, name, K1, K2, K4. So it has headers. Then I'll click on OK. So once I do that, you see it gives me another tab. And this tab is what we call the contextual tab. It only comes in when you need it. So if I decide to click outside the table, it disappears. Once I click within the table, it comes. So what it means is whatever thing you want to do to this particular table, you need not to go to any of the tabs. You get all the tools for the formatting and any other job within this particular table. So you focus on this contextual tab. Then as we move along, we insert stuff. It gives us other contextual tab. So I'll do the very best I can to explain it. So the first item on our list is the properties. So by default, the system will give it a name as what? Table 1. So if I want to go to, so these are the name box. So once I click on table 1, to select table 1. So assuming I'm on fixed, then I want to navigate to table 1. I click, it goes to table 1 directly. So it helps in that easy navigation. But for us to make it very user friendly, we need to give it a name. So let's say sales. Then I'll just tap on enter on the keyboard, then the name is saved. So if I come back to, let's say, sheet 1, I click on it. Okay, so these are the ranges or named stuff. Then I click, it moves me to this particular table. So once the table is selected, this is what I can do about a table. So if I want to create another row, I just need to hit on the tab. A row is created. Then I'll come Control Shift right, I'll copy. Then I'll do what? I'll paste. Then I'll go again, another tab. Then probably I come and copy this. Then I'll do what? I'll paste. So let me do that again. Copy, paste. Good. So as you extend the data set, the system automatically increases the range of this particular table. So basically, that is how to use the table tools. So first of all, you can change the name by coming to the contextual tab and changing its name here. You can also talk about resize table by adding or removing what rows and what columns. So if you want to resize, you can just do that by increasing or decreasing it. So this is up to E9. So if I want to go to E13, I'll just type E13, then I'll click on OK. Once I do that, it increases it. So that's for that particular group of our contextual tab of the table tools. Then we also have, let me select Control A to select all. Then we also have another way of reducing the size. So I can come in here, hold down my left mouse button and drag to close it up. So we have so many ways of doing that, resizing your table. Then we have summarize with pivot tables. We will later get into pivot tables, and insert slices comes in when you have pivot tables inserted. So I'll skip that. Then we have what? Remove duplicate. So if for one or two reasons you've collected a large set of data, and as humans as we are, we might be tempted to repeat some of the data within our data set. So if that is the case, you want to make sure that the data you have does not have duplicates. Then you just do a Control A to highlight. Then you click on remove duplicates. Then the system will just go through, select, okay, these are all the columns available. Yes, your data has headers. That is perfect. Then you click on OK. So once you click on OK, the system will go through it. Okay, 2 duplicate values found and removed. 6 unique values remain. So this is how you remove duplicates, and you can be asked in the Microsoft Office Specialist exam to remove duplicate from a particular table. So for you to do that, what do? You select the table, you go to its contextual tab, then you locate where the remove duplicate tool is. So that is that for the tools group, but we will later come back to the insert slicer. Then if for one or two reasons, okay, you don't want it in the form of a table again, you can easily go back and convert to what? Range. Do you want to convert to a normal range? Then you click on yes. Then it's converted to a normal range. Once it's in a normal range, you won't have the contextual tab. You won't have the filter button. So I will undo the conversion, Control Z. So that is that. Then we can also think of what? Exporting table to what? SharePoint list. But I don't think we will need that now. But you just need to understand where the tools are. Then you use it. So when it comes to a particular job, maybe at a workplace where you use SharePoint and they want you to export, at least you know where to find the tool. So that is what is important. Then you can also link it to other external data. So when we start importing, we definitely talk about linking them and unlinking them. Good. And we also have these table style options. So for the table style options, we have header row, total row, banded rows, first column, last column. All these are options. You see the filter buttons are active. So if I want to filter and only want to see the data for IDAN and Vidacrent, so once I click on OK, because of my filter handle, I'll just zoom in on that particular data set. That does not mean what we used to have previously has been deleted. It is still there, but just that it is hidden. So if I want to go back, then I'll just say what clear filter from name, then it come back to its normal. So this is how you use the filter handle. You can also sort by A to Z or Z to Z. So if it is A to Z in alphabetical order, it's sorted with the data next to that particular, or the data on that particular row. You can also sort Z to A, and if you've applied colors, you can do a custom sort based on the colors applied to the individual cells. So there is a lot you can do for sorting of alphabet. Then we can also think of sorting of numbers. So you want to sort by color, you want to sort by largest to smallest, you want to sort by smallest to largest based on K1 cell. So if it is largest to smallest, okay, based on K1, item is the first, the last is Parker Urban. Then if it is smallest to largest, the least is Parker Urban. So in that particular order. Then apart from these, you can also come in here and work on these. So if it is equal to, that's not equal to, greater than a particular number. So I want you to explore these and see how best you can work with it. So that's basically it. If you want to sort according to a particular number, okay, I just only want this. Then it gives you the data for that particular individual. And it's a very useful tool in terms of data analysis and presentation. So if I decide to uncheck the header row, you see the header row is no longer active. So once you click, it comes. Do you want total? You want the system to calculate the totals for you. You don't need to do it manually using the auto sum. So once it's in the form of a table, you have that ability to calculate the totals. So once I click, boom, automatically it gives me the total for the last column. If I hit on it, so if I come in here to subtotal, so I can even drag the formula back, then the system will just do it for me. So you do the autofill, then you drag it back. So that's one thing you need to also know. Then we have banded rows. So if you look at what we have, this row has a different color, this one has a different color, and it makes sense. It helps you to read it easily. So if you don't want that, you disable them. They're all on the same level. But once you want banded rows, you check it comes. Then you also have first column. So once you click on first column, it gives you a different feel. But we'll later get to the table styles. Then you have what last column, it makes it then banded columns. So you can take the banded rows if you don't want it. Then you go for the banded columns. Then the filter button, if you want it, you check it's there. So the most important thing is knowing where the tools are, so that when it comes to you needing a particular tool for your work, you will not be found fumbling. Actually, where can I find this tool? No, you are a specialist and you know where to get it to. Okay, so with that said, let's look at the table styles. So within the Microsoft Excel exam, they will be very specific on the type of style you are supposed to use for a particular table. So assuming they want you to use light, they have light section, medium, then we have what dark. So they can go by, okay, we want you to use white table style light 8. So once you see light, it should tell you that I need to go to light. Then within the light, I'll be able to find whatever I'm being asked to find and apply to this particular data set. So basically that is what, so you can go through and select any style of your choice. And this makes the data more presentable and appealing to your boss or whoever has required your services. So basically that is it. Okay, so this one is orange table style dark 9. So you need to be aware of these tools and where they are found. So that is an extensive coverage of the contextual tab after inserting the tables. So let's go back to our insert tab. Then let's we will look at the pictures, basically the illustrations group in the next lesson. So at least 15 minutes, you watch, you practice, and you become better at it. So thank you for the time, and God bless you.